Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Stump. We do it every Wednesday, 3 p.m.-ish, right here at 98.1 The Max Studios. And next week, we have Blood Like Wine coming in. Fun band and loud band. And so I'm excited to talk to them. But today, this is awesome. We got a very special guest. Man of many talents, many bands, and a lot of experience. And he's with Roxy Blue. Got the album release show happening next Friday at Minglewood Hall. Tickets on sale right now at 901tix.com, $15, plus proceeds benefit Ronald McDonald House Radiothon, which is coming fast Friday, November 1st. And then you got Every Mother's Nightmare and Fever Tree opening up. Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Todd Poole.
What's up?
What's going on, man? How you doing?
How's it going? Man, I'm excited.
I'm pumped too, dude. I'm pumped to have you here because, you know, I've been in Memphis for 5 years.
That's it?
Only 5 years.
Wow.
And so I feel like I keep saying, like, I love moving here at this time because I feel like there's like this new resurgence of rock and roll happening right now.
I believe that.
And yeah, there's so many different bands. I know the scene's fragmented now because of like online and streaming platforms and stuff.
Man.
So everybody kind of just pigeonholes themselves in their own little world. But a lot of people are going out to shows. There's so many venues, and you've seen so much of that change over the years.
Well, yeah, I mean, you know, the deal is like back in the day, which you didn't see around here, in the early Roxy days, the Tora, Roxy, the Nightmares. There was a band called Dots that Tim Deals from Fever Tree played.
Okay.
And man, the whole scene, everybody, me and Mike Glenn, you know, he had the Daisy. We were talking about this. It's like everybody, you know, would go to shows, and I understand we've all gotten older, but back then, man, it was just like everybody came to everybody's show. They supported everybody.
Yeah.
And, you know, back when we didn't have families or nothing like that. But I've seen, like, I manage under the radar. So, I mean, I've started seeing that going out to shows, man, rock and roll is like in Memphis, you know, with some of the clubs that are out. I mean, it's like people are starting to go out again. It's rocking, man. And, you know, the key word, rock and roll, man. I mean, I like all kind of music, but, you know, it all comes from rock and roll to me. And, you know, you hear the saying, you know, man, all these years, people, man, rock's dead, you know, you got to go to country, you got to play pop. Rock and roll ain't never going to die, man, ever.
I don't believe it is. I think it'll change its face every once in a while. Like, it was funny. I was watching I think it was like the Packers-Lions game, and they had a country band play the halftime show, and the country band, one of the guys, the drummer had a mohawk.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know who it was, and another guy had like a neck tattoo, and I'm like, dude, this is...
all the country bands now, it's like, you know, the guy comes out, and he's got the good, you know, genuine, you know, country voice, but the band is a rock band.
It's a rock band.
It's like they took the bands back in the day and said, hey, man, you want to make some money? Come play country.
Yeah, and they're doing it.
Oh, and they're rocking.
They are. And, yeah, even if they have a banjo in their hand, like I said, like they got like the tattoos and all that, they got the look.
My friend Jeffrey Hoare works for... who does he work for? It's a country guy. Dirt Road. What's that?
The band Dirt Road?
No, man. I can't think right now.
That's all good.
But anyway,
it just seems
like big band, and you know, it's like, you know, I like country music actually, but you know, I mean, I don't live for it. I live rock every day. I mean, every day. I'm into some heavy stuff. So,
what are you listening to these days?
Well, you know, when we were making the record, I try not to listen to anything so I get my head right, you know, because I write all the stuff. But I like a lot of it. I'm a big 70s. I'm old rock, but like Black Sabbath's my band. But new bands, well, I've always liked 6 a.m. Mm-hmm. But I like a new band called Like a Storm. Like a Storm. Yeah, they're really heavy and they're cool. I really like Asking Alexandria. Yeah. They had 2 singers. So the first singer, they had some great stuff. And then he moved on, and they got this guy. Then they became really, like, blood-gushing heavy. Gotcha. And now they got the other guy back.
So they it sounds like they did exactly what almost like Killswitch Engage did.
Yeah, it's like they did About Face, but actually this newer stuff that they're doing now, to me, I like the older stuff. I mean, I do like the heavier stuff. It's like they're kind of staying in the game. There's a lot of pop going on out right now, and I don't knock any music. To me, anybody that's playing music, you know, and they're actually playing music, I dig that. With all the computers out and stuff, man, it's just so much like contrived stuff, you know. But that's what I love about the old days, man. Everybody picks up their instruments and they get in a room and they're like, hey, man, if it sounds good, it sounds good. If we mess up, it probably still sounds good. Who cares? Let's rock.
Yeah.
That's what I'm into.
Like a one-take Charlie kind of thing.
Yeah, man, like back the Sound City thing. You know?
I love that documentary.
I do, too. And I had a chance to go there when we were back in the day. And just to stand in the room, man, it's like people like Fleetwood Mac, you know, Nirvana,
Queens of Stone Age,
I'm a big Foo Fighters fan just because I love Dave Grohl. I think Dave Grohl's kind of got his finger on the pulse, and I'm looking forward to their new record. He seems to stay kind of fresh. I've been kind of going back and listening to some other stuff, man. And like, I'm still a big Beatles fan. I love the Wings, and so yeah. I mean, I think that's what keeps me. I try not to follow any trends, you know, like so with the new Roxy record.
Yeah.
You know, we're not
27 years.
Well, 27 years since
in between albums,
yeah. And you know, we tried to people ask us over the years, you know, man, Todd, y'all need to get Roxy back together, and I think we tried a couple times. It just didn't feel right, you know. I didn't feel right. I had Saliva going on. After Saliva, I did 714. And I was kind of just trying to reinvent myself and, you know, kind of do what I felt I wanted to do. And I had kind of moved away from as a person, a writer and everything, as the Roxy stuff.
Yeah.
I'm proud of what we did. I think we did like a climb and a fall so fast that I don't think we knew it hit us. I mean, we had the biggest of the biggest people involved with us. I mean, we had it laid out for us to be huge, but I'm not sure we were ready for it. You know, I think we thought we were, and maybe a couple records down the road we might have been, but things were changing, man. You know, like I was sitting, you know, we were right there when it changed. I mean, like,
because it's like 91, 92, right?
It was 92, and I remember a record came out. Everything was great, man. But the weird thing is that as we were climbing, and we had Tom Zutaut, who was Guns N' Roses fame. We had Mike Klink produced the record. We had Motley Crue's management, Doug Thaler. I mean, we had everything going on for us, and we were surrounded by, you know, the biggest of big. Yeah. And I don't think we, like, took a deep breath to kind of soak it in. And I'm almost kind of glad we didn't, because there was a lot of pressure on us that we didn't really realize at the time. You know, with that much around us, like, this is going to be the next big thing. Yeah. And we were so caught up in just being a rock band and jamming that, you know, the misconception, I think, of us. And I remember making the record, and we were like halfway through it. And I was driving around L.A. with one of the guys from Geffen. And he was like, hey, man, Gary Gersh from Geffen just signed this new band. I want you to listen to it. So he pops in a cassette. There you go. Yeah. And it's Nirvana. And it's like not finished. It's like, smells like Teen Spirit. Mm-hmm. And it blew me away. I'll never forget. It was a sunny day. We're driving around. He put it in, and I went, whoa, man, this is great. Yeah. And something clicked, and I'm like, wow, man, that's a new, fresh sound. And it made me almost want to go, man, can I start on some new stuff? Yeah. You know? But, and then I was really good friends with Warrant, Janie Lane from Warrant. He found Roxy Blue. He's the one who discovered us. Oh, wow. So I saw it happen with them, too. I was at his house. I remember him coming home one day, and I was staying at his place for a little bit. He came home. He was mad. I was like, what's up? He's like, man, I just got back from my record company, and last week I was in there, and our album was on the behind the reception desk.
Yeah.
And now Alice in Chains.
Yeah.
And you've heard the story, but that's,
I have heard that. Yeah.
So I was in the middle of it. We all were. And when it happened, and it happened really fast, man. And so, who knows what would have happened? I think things happen for a reason. I do think music needed a change. I think a lot of bands were starting to kind of be the sister bands. Everybody was starting to sound alike.
Yeah.
And things can't go on forever. So
yeah, it's almost like God's rejection is your protection kind of deal.
Oh yeah, exactly.
If you want to look
and, I'll be honest with you, I really liked the Seattle movement. A lot of people from our era were like, they were hating on them. But it inspired me. Even though our band wasn't that, I think it made me evolve. And it's not, I think all musicians are influenced by something. Nobody's that original. Everybody's Led Zeppelin, everybody. They're all influenced. And I think with me personally, I was digging on that stuff, man. I was in the middle of it. I saw L.A. go from, literally when we got there, Mike Klink was still working on Use Your Illusion, and while he was starting our record. And I saw the cowboy boots outside, the jeans and all that. I saw it turn into the combat boots and the flannels. I saw that happen. And
all in the span of a couple months.
Seriously, I'm not lying. And I was actually digging on it, but I had a job to do, and we had fun, and we were more of a Van Halen type thing, and we got pegged at it as it. So we were a cool, fun live band, and I think all the guys in Roxy, they were all great players, still are.
Mm-hmm.
Like top-notch players, and I don't know if we really categorized ourselves. We got put in that, but I think people that saw us live was like, man, these guys can really play.
Well, I've seen pictures of some of your old shows, and I saw a picture at Stage Stop, and it was packed ass to elbow.
Oh yeah,
and
every show we played was,
and that's crazy. A trip because I've played Stage Stop, and it wasn't ass to elbow. It was kind of like, it seems that, and it was also an interesting thing I wanted to ask you, because someone told me a story. They saw you handing out flyers outside the Mid-South Coliseum one time for one of your shows, and I was thinking about how people, you had to work your ass off to get. People were going to shows, but people wouldn't know about the shows unless you did the legwork, and you guys were running around doing that. And
there was no internet. There was none of that.
And then what's funny is now it's, we've been guilty of this, but not even making a flyer for a show or something like that, or just depend too much on social media to do that, and not do the interfacing with the crowd, with the people one-on-one, saying, hey, come to our show. Hey, I think there's an organic feel to it that means something, and it's kind of a trip how things have changed over the years.
That's how they did it in L.A. You see bands on Sunset giving out flyers all the time, man. It was crazy, and I was like, whoa, this is great. But in the early days, we were opening. When we first started, we were opening for all these bands, anybody that would let us open. We didn't care. We just want to play. Yeah. And I remember one day, I think we were trying to get a gig with somebody, and we didn't get it. And then about 5 or 6 gigs, and we couldn't get the gigs open, and I was upset. I remember talking to my friend John Buchanan about it, Nita from Stage Stop's son. Mm-hmm. I was like, man, I'm bummed, man. We can't get a gig open for anybody. He's like, dude, you don't need to open anymore. It's time. And I'm like, what do you mean? He's like, well, it's time for you guys to headline. And I was scared to death, headline, man, whoa, man. So we headlined, and people came. And we had created a buzz, man. And it got to a point where back in the day, and I think it probably kind of is like that now, but back in the day, you had to create a buzz. And then we had a lawyer, Jim Zumwalt, and he was reaching out. And then, of course, when Janie saw us at Rascals, mm-hmm. He saw us at Rascals. When he saw us, he kind of put out a buzz. So record companies started coming in, and saying, wow, there's a band in Memphis that's doing something. Same thing happened with Tora. There was a buzz, and Nightmares. It was like a buzz. So you'd go to the gig, and people would be there and be packed, and the record companies are looking around going, there's something going on here. Yeah. There's some kind of vibe in this town, and something's going on big here. And then it became, this guy was interested, and then when Tom Zutaut, you know, the big wig that did Guns N' Roses, and he got involved. The night we got signed, there were 2 labels there before he walked in. But man, back in the day, they came, they saw you. If they liked you, then in our case, Tom saw us, he liked us, and he's like, look, I'm going to give you 6 months or somewhere in between there. I get first dibs. Mm-hmm. But they came, they saw you, so you worked your butt off and you played live, and then if you were lucky, you got signed. We got lucky. And like I tell, like Under the Radar, you know, I tell any band this, it's actually harder after you get signed because the expectation on you, it is work, but it's fun work. It's what you want to do. Yeah. But, you know, make a record, get out and tour, go out and do interviews. And I loved all that. But, you know, back in the day, we had people, a record company that was taking care of us. You know, we didn't have to do all of it ourselves. Yeah. And that's now definitely it's totally different. We're signed to Frontiers now. We love Frontiers. But there's a lot of, you know, you have to do a lot of your own groundwork, you know, your own social media, your own. You got a gig. We got lucky with you guys. Danny loved the song, How Does It Feel? Mm-hmm. And you guys have been very supportive of us. I mean, it's like, you know, telling you we're grateful is not even enough, but we're excited and about the new record. We're excited about the new fans. Our deal is the new fans.
There you go. There's the new record right there.
Man, we got a lot going on for this show, too.
Yeah. No, it's going to be fun, man. I'm pumped for it.
So we're going to play almost the entire new record.
Okay.
And we're going to play some of Want Some. We're going to have new shirts, a lot of merchandise. We're going to have a lot of these CDs available. And we got a company called F&A that in between all this time, we hooked up, Scotty T and I, our drummer, we hooked up with this company, F&A in Nashville. They wanted to release some stuff. So I said, we have demos, and Tora did it, and we said, well, we'll do it. So we put together all these demos, and they made like a live record and then a studio stuff that we never released or anything, and acoustic thing. And it did really well. And they're going to be there, and they actually are going to have some merch, too, which is cool. They are actually going to have, I just found out, they're going to have the original tour shirt with Want Some album cover on it with some tour dates on the back from 1992.
That's pretty slick.
For the show, and I was like, cool. So, but, yeah. So Sid's not with us anymore.
Okay.
I didn't know if you were going to ask me that or not, but so a lot of people have asked. We got a new guitar player, Jeff Codron. He played with Full Devil Jacket, Jasmine Cain, Every Mother's Nightmare back in the day.
Very seasoned, very ready to go,
He's very cool, and he was in for the long haul. Yeah. Wayne Sweeney from Saliva played with us at first, but I needed a commitment. Like, I didn't want to wait. And me and Wayne talked about it, and I was like, Wayne, man, I can't wait for you to, you know, get a break from your tour and let me play a show. Yeah. So we're cool, but the new record, when we went in and approached this new record with Jeff, it was like, well, Sweeney and I wrote a couple songs to get it kick-started, Wayne. And Jeff came in and, you know, the sound, I wrote this record, but the guys put their taste on it. You know, I left it open to say, you know, Josh, especially Josh and Scotty, man, the rhythm section, dude, they are awesome. Yeah. So this record, the guys came to me and I said, well, here's the demos, you know, you guys check it out. And they're like, we love it, but man, some of our old fans are going to freak out. I'm like, cool. Good. And they're like, yeah, but it doesn't sound anything like Want Some. Mm-hmm. I'm like, yeah, man, but it's who I am.
Well, I was about to say, because we're talking about how you watched everything change, during that time period when like the Seattle scene exploded, but you didn't really stop. You just kind of reinvented yourself. One of the founding members of Saliva. You were drumming. By the way, singing, and then you're a drummer.
Oh, yeah.
How many instruments are you playing?
Well, drumming was my
your first love?
My first love.
Okay.
So I played drums. I used to be a drummer-singer. And then the only reason I quit playing drums, well, I didn't never quit playing drums. I picked up a guitar because I was writing songs, and I was like, man, I couldn't convey my ideas to someone
the
way I wanted them.
Yeah.
And I was horrible on guitar. And I'm still not that great, I don't think. But I can write songs. And so I made myself just start learning, just like play guitar and write a song. And I'd listen to songwriters that I liked and see how they did it, and just started doing that. And Saliva happened kind of weird because Wayne and I had a band, and we were getting ready to come out and play, and our drummer was going through like a custody battle thing. He wanted to take his time and do that. And we were like, cool. So we're just sitting ducks. So I had a studio below my house, and Wayne and I used to sit in there, and I'd get on the drums, man, and we'd just write some stuff. And then we called Josie up and one night and said, hey, dude, you ain't do anything. Come on by. So that's how that whole thing started. It was like kind of weird because it wasn't forced, and it just kind of happened. And
now you're surrounded this whole new music industry, new sound, so you're adapting to it, one way or another. That's what I'm saying. Like it makes perfect sense that this record's not going to sound anything like the previous one. Number one, a lot of time's gone by, a lot of life experience has gone by, and just the sound.
27 years of life.
I was about to say, and it wasn't like you just woke up one day. You were actively changing your tastes, and your sound changed with it over time. So of course it's going to sound different.
Agreed. I mean,
I'm a fan of Rockstar Junkie. We've been playing that one as heavier.
That was the first song written.
Oh, really?
Yeah, first song written for the record. Sweeney and I were sitting around one night, and he started playing this riff, and I said, "Man, just play that over and over." Mm-hmm. And I just started singing, and the song came. It was like one of them 15-minute songs.
Really?
Yeah, and that song's actually about everything we're talking about. It's about all the rock and rollers that, live the lifestyle, and they got kind of the rug swept out from under them.
Yeah.
And, they're like, wow, man, I can't sell a toothbrush right now, man, because, my music's not happening. Somebody upstairs said, oh, man, your music's not cool anymore. And then you go out and do these festivals and stuff, and these bands are starting to resurge, the Teslas and all this, all coming back out. And, you go to these shows, though, man, and people are still wanting that music. They're like this, man. They're having the best time of their lives. And it's like, that's what that song's about, though. It's about wearing your heart on your sleeve, man, and just, like, staying true to who you are and doing what you do, because no one can change anything. See, I've never been one. I get influenced, but I've never been one to just kind of go with, okay, well, this is happening now. I think I want to do this. Mm-hmm. I did get influenced, but, I have learned over the years, if you don't stay true to what you're doing, I mean, people aren't stupid. They can see right through it, so, and I think lyrically, you said something about, you've lived a life now, I've got more to talk about, but lyrics mean more to me now. In not just my songs or every song, I listen a lot closer, man. The message, I'm not really a storyteller. I like to leave it for the person listening to it to get what they want. I mean, I've had people walk up to me and go, man, I love that song you got about blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, in my head, I'm going, I didn't write that song about that. But I'm not going to tell them that.
Absolutely
because I'm going to spoil their whole deal,
Yeah.
But we enjoyed making this record. I think the record came to life when the guys played it. Like, my demos were cool, but when they came in and put their taste to it, I think the record came alive.
Did you have it all mapped out when you went in, or did a lot of songs kind of come to life once you were in the studio and you started writing on the fly?
Man, I had a lot of it mapped. I mean, I did a lot of work on this record beforehand. But I had a couple ideas before we got the call from Frontiers. We were never planning on really getting back together. We got a call to do a show with Bret Michaels at Bank Plus a couple years back, and we said, yeah, we'll do it.
By the way, nicest guy I've ever met in music.
Totally cool.
I was floored. He was just you looks you in the eye.
He's humble.
Shakes you, very much so.
And I'm sorry. Dude.
No, you're good.
No, he's totally cool. And when we were on stage, it was weird because he was like, I'd met him before, but, not really, like, knowingly. Like, hey, man, what's up, brother, whatever. So, hey, what's up? So, we're on stage, and he grabs me at the end of the show. He's doing the kiss or whatever, and he's like, come on, Todd, you're going with me. I was like, only thing I thought,
what?
So then he goes, hey, you got your cell phone on you? I was like, in the middle of the show, it's jamming.
Yeah.
He's like, you got your cell phone? I was like, yeah. He's like, let's do a selfie. So he turns around. He wants to do a selfie with the people in the audience right here. I'm like, this is cool. Yeah, he's totally cool.
And because we were talking about that, because I know, and I learned so much about him because I got to talk with him about like last year, and and by the end of it, he was donating money to Ronald McDonald House.
Man.
And I don't know.
He's a good person.
He's real. I mean, I know he's been a diabetic his whole life.
He's been through hell, yeah.
He's been through hell. So, I mean, I know life was like you either be humble or get humbled. So, like, I don't know what came first, the rock, like the chicken or the egg. But he just seems to have adapted really well.
Well, you think about everything as big as he got and all the stuff he's done, you would expect him to be,
not remember things but
man,
attention.
Dude is. I think because he comes probably from where he comes from, man. He's like, he didn't. I mean, he's lived the ultimate rock lifestyle.
Yeah.
He was the ultimate rocker back in the day. I mean, after like the real rockers like David Lee and all them.
Yeah.
But he was the guy, I think he took a lot of, he was kind of the bubble gum kind of thing, but he's always been like, you're talking about a guy who wrote 2 #1 hits with the same 3 chords. And he just switched them around. Seriously.
Are you serious? Those are the same.
Something to believe in.
Yeah.
Give me something to believe in. And Every Rose Has a Thorn is like, pretty much the same.
Plus or minus a chord.
But I think what keeps him going and what he relates to people. People like him.
Yeah.
I mean, you never run into anybody that doesn't say, man, Bret Michaels is an awesome guy.
Well, just in general, to do something that long, either you got to have dirt on somebody, or you just crazy motivation, right. or you're just people keep giving you chances and keep putting you up on that stage, and I think that says a lot. Over the years. And
well, he was born to be who he is.
Yeah.
He's a true rock star.
And it was funny, and that's why I say, you guys doing, you had your speed bump, but you didn't stop. You kept writing music. You kept going. You kept following that line. And I don't know what inside you, what kind of fiery furnace you got going on in there.
Man, I tell you what, I know there's people out there I've worked with, like, I'm hard to work with sometimes and stuff, but I just have a mission. And I know I've been there, and I don't. It's not about being a rock star to me, I mean, it was back in the day. That's all I wanted to be. I wanted to be a rock star, man. That's it. I want to be a rock star. Whatever it takes to be a rock star, and be a rock star. And I think during that path, I lost focus on some of the important things, like honing my craft better. I mean, and digging down and getting off the surface a little bit and, getting down in it a little more. And I think life's had a way of putting scars on me, good and bad, and it grounded me. And it made me go, hey, man, you know what? Quit trying to be a rock star and just want to play music. Just try to play music the rest of your life. That's all. I don't know how to turn it off. I swear I don't.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I'm not the guy that says, you know, I got married, blah, 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 I'm going to give it up, and then 3 to 4 years later I got divorced, now I'm going to come back and try it again. I can't do that. To me, you're either in it or you're out of it.
Mm-hmm.
And if you're going to go for it, because I'm still going for it. I mean,
Yeah.
I'm not a weekend warrior, man. I'm going for it. We're getting ready to start. We got new management, new booking agent. We're getting ready to start booking and start playing, man. Now, I don't want to. It's kind of stupid to do what I call the peanut butter and jelly tour. Like back in the day, back in the day, you had tour support.
Yeah.
You get on your bus and you go out there and you had no worries in the world. You're making money and you're going to these places. Now a lot of flyouts. We'll probably do flyouts.
Okay.
When we'll do some runs with the bus and stuff in the region or whatever. But to me, it's like you can go out and play. If we pick up a tour, it's a different story. Other than that, it's like, I have a house, cars and stuff. I can't just like go, hey, yeah, man, I'm going to go over here and do this little gig or whatever, and we're just going to go out and we're just going to run for 3 months, and I'm going to come home with $400 in my pocket and a good buzz.
Yeah.
I can't do that anymore. So, but I did tell the guys, and we all agree, if we're not going to play live, we shouldn't do this. So it's all about supporting the record, and I think next Friday night is where it all kind of starts.
Yeah.
We did a show a month or so ago with Warrant in Chattanooga. And, man, it was insane. Yeah. It was insane. I mean, it was. The people were there in Groves. It was like a Minglewood Hall, picked up and put in Chattanooga. It's called The Signal. And you were in there. You were like looking around going, wow, it's like Minglewood Hall. Yeah. So, I will encourage everyone, though, and what we're trying to do here, and I'm not just trying to, make some kind of advertisement here, but this is the first time that the band, Roxy Blue, like the band, has played Memphis in many, many years, and so we're looking forward to having our friends come out and see a lot of people that we haven't seen in a while, new fans, and I know some people are out there on the fence, man, people don't get out like they used to, we're getting older, man, I don't know, man. So go ahead and get you a babysitter, go ahead and do whatever you got to do.
Yeah, we're giving you enough time to plan for it.
And to me, I've always had this thing, because, I'm getting older like everybody else. Live while you're living, man. I don't want people to wake up the next day and start, man, I like the show go, man. Just come out and have fun. Yeah. Get with your husband or your wife or whatever. Y'all all go come out and have a great time. And I can promise you this. Roxy Blue, we still do the show like we did back in the day. We still try to bring everything and we'll leave it on the table. Mm-hmm. So we got a lot of things up our sleeve for this show, and we're very excited. Every Mother's Nightmare.
Opening up Fever
Great
Tree.
Guys.
Opening up, yeah.
We wanted them to play. Me and Rick haven't played a gig together in a while, and I'm excited about their new material, so we're excited. And then Fever Tree, I think it's just going to be a great show, man. I think
it's going to be a blast.
Everybody's going to have fun, and I think from the beginning to the end, it's just going to be like a big reunion of everybody getting together and having a good time. So,
well, that's what we're hoping, man, because it's like I said, because it's like the same people. Talking about Rock is Dead or anything like that, the same people are saying that are usually getting a little bit older and long in the tooth, and I'm like, not the case, man. Not the case. We're still throwing a big party. And we were at the Tora show at Minglewood Hall about
I remember
6 months ago, 7 months ago. Locals, they it was really cool about them is they asked locals Dirty Streets to open up for them.
Love them.
Great band. They opened up for them, and it was a great time. And people are still going out to shows, and I'm loving that. And
that was the point earlier. Like that ended up being a pretty packed show.
Yeah,
a great show. So in Tora, Anthony and I, we go out and do acoustic shows. We're actually working on one to go back to Colorado here soon.
Show in Colorado?
Well, we did one last year, and the setting was great, and instead of
we're just filling up on edibles. Is that what we're doing?
dude, I swear I mean, they are living it there.
Yeah, they are.
But it was a perfect setting, and he and I decided, and it was weird, and it was awesome. He and I decided that we would get on stage together, and they had like a festival thing there, and we would get on stage together. And we would kind of tell stories, and I would play a song, he would play a song, and then we kind of sang together, back up, and we'd never done that before. And we were telling stories and stuff in between, and people dug it, man. We were telling about the old days, and it was just a lot of fun. So they want us to come back. But I will say, Tor's got the new record on Frontiers.
You guys are on the same level?
We're on the same level, yeah.
Right.
And we were talking about how hard it is. It's kind of weird, after all these years, you really don't know if, you're excited about your record, but, people are going to dig it or not going to dig it. And
I mean, I think that comes with it, though.
It does, it's like that kind of the excitement inside.
Yeah, that's the rush.
And when it's done, it's done. Who cares, but.
Yeah.
But they did a great record, and I'm proud of those guys, and we're really good friends, and I think eventually we'll probably get a show together too. But
where'd you guys get to record this?
Man, I produced that record too.
Really?
I did, man. And we recorded it at Broken Snare. Jimmy Fulp and I produced it together. He's got a studio. He's actually getting ready to build a new one. And man, we just got in there and hammered it out, man. And I work really good with him, so he just kind of, I have to look at him and go, hey, dude, you got to push me, man. So if something doesn't sound right, make me do it 100 times. You know? But
your little Yoda.
This record kind of came easy, I mean, I did a lot of groundwork before I went in there, and it kind of came easy, and we didn't really have to struggle. Many of the songs. But I think I wrote about 15, 16 songs for the record.
Okay.
And then I let the guys get together, the band got together, and we recorded, and it was like, which ones you guys want to do? And so it was a team effort in the end.
Yeah.
And I think the next record, which I've kind of started writing a little bit on, we're going to do more of a collaboration together. Like, we're going to try to get back like the Sound City thing. We're going to kind of go in a room and kind of hash it out and try to make not the same record again. We're going to try to do something completely different, or at least, I don't know, they might butt heads with me because I'm kind of getting heavier in the older I get, I'm getting heavier. I really am, man. I'm really wanting to, but I think the guitar work on the next record.
What are you talking about, a heavier sound?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, great song, as long as it's a great song to me. But, and not heavy as in just like crunch heavy, but just like meaning, like attitude-wise.
Yeah.
But I think Jeff, who did a great job on this record playing guitar, came up with some great solos and stuff. I'm probably I have ideas, but I might leave some of it to, expand on the guitar a little bit. I played a lot of guitar on this, and, I can only go so far, I mean, to me on guitar, and I got ideas that I actually, I need a better guitar player playing this. But,
I hear you.
But yeah, man, it's just like we want to keep rolling. We want to keep rolling, and we're very grateful that we're able to do this show and play for everybody, and 98's been great to us, and we're just going to go out and slam dunk the show. So everybody needs to get their tickets. They need to go out. And if you're not going to get pre-sale tickets, that's fine. Go to the show.
We do walk up, too.
Ronald McDonald House, man. It's for a good cause, and that's the other thing that's great about it. It's a gathering of everyone in Memphis to get together and show their support for families that children are in the hospital and they need a place to be, and it's like I don't know what that's like.
Yeah.
And I can only imagine, but if I can help, make that happen. My wife and I, we did the thing for her for Jam for Jimmy for 5 years for St. Jude. And that was our way of giving back to that, because Jimmy loved St. Jude, and and that's always been dear to our hearts. So this is kind of an extension of that. So when I found out it was for Ronald McDonald House, it just kind of upped the ante for me. So
yeah, it's going to be a great show for a great cause, and it's pumped. And I'm pumped that you guys, after these years, you're putting out, you're making music, and you're already working on the next one. And I'm
having
excited.
to stretch a lot for this show too, by the way.
That's okay. That's okay.
It's gonna be great.
Do some Pilates. I think planking is in. It's not even about lifting weights anymore. I think it's about planking.
No, man, but
getting that lower center of gravity.
Everybody's expecting me to hit that 12-foot jump, but I do it every show now.
Well, I've seen the picture of the split.
It's not the jump, dude. It's the landing.
Well, dude, thanks so much for coming on, man.
Man, you're awesome. Thank you.
We got the remember Roxy Blue, Every Mother's Nightmare, Fever Tree, next Friday, Minglewood Hall. Tickets available right now, $15 at 901tix.com, benefiting Ronald McDonald House. Also, the album is streaming on all platforms right now. You can watch that, or you can listen to it on 98.1 The Max. How does it feel? And Rockstar Junkie, we've been playing that one lately, and want to support our local bands. And thanks again, man, for joining us, Mr. Todd Poole.
Thank you. Peace.
My man.
All right. Thanks, man.